Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you how I save some money by doing my brows at home. It's very simple. I use just a couple of tools. So before we get into the video guys, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content coming in the future. Be sure to click the bell button so you get the notifications so you know when my videos pop up so you'll be the first to watch them. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to excuse like all this craziness going on my face right now. I have some sort of fake freckle nonsense going on right here. I tried this technique I saw on Ginsmakeup's channel where she replicated the illusion of having fake freckles by applying fake tanner across her face with a brush. So I tried the same technique, and as you can see, it didn't really end up looking too natural, but that's okay. We're just gonna excuse that. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I do my eyebrows. Let me just show you that. I don't know if you can see, but it's getting a little crazy up there. Before we begin, I just want to show you guys the tools that I use. The first thing I use is tweezers. I like these tweezers by the brand Tweezerman. They have a really precise tip to just really grab onto the hairs. That's really important when you're doing this. I also use cuticle scissors to just trim some of the longer hairs when I brush through them. In addition, I like to use an eyebrow razor to just kind of shape up the hairs at the end. This one is by the brand Twinkle. You can get a 3-pack on Amazon for like $5. And then I just use a spoolie to brush through my eyebrow hairs. This is just a spoolie on the NYX micro eyebrow pencil. I wouldn't recommend doing this without any sort of visual aids, so I'm just using the mirror on my Laneige BB compact to see what I'm doing because I'm in my bedroom and I don't have the mirror in front of me, but usually I would just do this in the bathroom. So let me get a little closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. So before I start doing anything at all, I'm just gonna go ahead and brush through my eyebrows in the direction of the hair growth so I can see where everything is and get a good idea of what I want to trim up. So as you guys can see here, even though it's a little crazy up here, I actually have a pretty defined brow shape. It's mostly just cleaning up the edges that needs to be done. So the first thing I like to do is I like to just go in with the tweezers and just tweeze all the hairs that are sticking out in the middle that I can see visibly. Now I'm used to this because I've been shaping my brows at home for a couple of years now. If you guys personally find plucking your own hairs to be a little bit painful, you can go ahead and just soak the area with a warm washcloth for a minute before you start plucking, just to make everything a little softer and make the hairs come out a little easier. And I have a couple hairs, I don't know if you can see, but I have a couple hairs here that are just a little finicky. So I just like to brush my hairs over just a little bit so I don't accidentally pluck a bigger hair when I'm getting these ones. So now that the middle is cleaned up pretty well, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning up the underneath of the brow. So I'm just going to go ahead and back in with my spoolie and just brush the brows upwards. And I'm just going to start plucking the hairs that are underneath the defined brow line. And then I'm going to go ahead and shape the top as well. So I'm just going to brush the brows down and go ahead and start plucking that area as well. Plucking that area as well. Alright, so that's everything plucked, and as you can see, it's already a pretty good shape. If you think that that's defined enough for you, you could actually just leave it like that. But I still have some craziness going on up in here and over here, so I'm going to go ahead and shape that up. So I'm going to go ahead and take my eyebrow razor and just go ahead and start shaping up those areas. Honestly, I just like to use this against the bare skin. I don't use any sort of shaving cream or gel or anything like that. You can use a shaving gel if you want, but I wouldn't recommend using a shaving cream because it could conceal your eyebrow shape and you could end up shaving off more than you want. So if you're going to use anything, I would recommend using a shaving gel. And I'll even shape the underneath up a little bit as well. As you guys can see here, the final eyebrow shape is coming together pretty nicely, but some of the hairs are still a little long for my liking, so this is where the cuticle scissors come in. So firstly, I like to kind of trim this little cowlick here so it's the same length as the rest of my hair. So I will just go ahead and take my spoolie and brush that up, and then go ahead and cut across just to make it so it's the same length as the rest of my hair. And then I'm going to brush down through the brow and just trim the hairs that hang extra low. And again, just brush up through the brow and trim any hairs that are extra long. Alright, and here's the completed brow. As you can see, it is a lot better, a lot more cleaned up, and just a lot more presentable. So that's the end of my tutorial, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the future. Go ahead and give me a follow on my Instagram over here, and I'll be back with more content shortly. Peace.